Okay guys, welcome back. This is your old pal Hondo doing another video for you guys today. Now, what is better for your fire kits? Is it a knife or is it a pencil sharpener? Now, survival kits from the Army Rangers that come with a pencil sharpener. Now their version's a little bit different than this one. This is the one I could find, and is a pencil sharpener a better replacement for a good outdoors knife for making fire for your kits? Honestly, the Army Ranger version is a little bit different than this one. The Army Ranger version is made out of magnesium, so you can scrape the magnesium off of it, and it has two sizes to the hole where you can put material in to make. I can see some use for it, but not really you know, a major use, or even putting one of these in my survival kit, because like say if I wanted to break down fat wood to make tinder, you have to still use a knife to break it down in order to use it in order to make tinder, and I'm not getting a lot of tinder out of it, to be honest. And you really can't do much with this in the field except maybe finding twigs that will fit this, and you got to find like just the perfect you know, maybe sharpen it. And I'm still not getting good results with it, to be honest, with certain sticks. So it's not giving me like huge tinder. It's giving me like little like really fine shavings. I mean, where with a good outdoors knife I could do a whole lot more, depending on what kind of outdoors knife you get, a Mora or a Condor or a, you know, an LT Wright or something with a good 90-degree spine on it. I could do a lot more with this to move material, make notches, trap triggers, to make tent pegs, to craft spoons, scrape as a scraper to scrape a survival bow if I need to make a survival bow in the field, to notch to make furniture, you know, to notch wood to make furniture and stuff like that. I could do way more with this. I'm still using this to break down material like fat wood, cutting sticks off, in order to still put it in here. In realistic terms, is there any use for this? Probably not, because if you can see here, if I want to make and move material a lot faster than the pencil sharpener, I'm going to be able to make this material a lot faster with this knife by making small little feather sticks with fat wood, you know, with the Scandi grind. And you know, I'm making more material right now than I was able to get with that to start a fire, to get my fire tinder going with the fat wood here. This is a different type of fat wood, and you know, I'm making this material very quickly, as you can see. And if I want to scrape it, I'm scraping the material fast to make scrapings with the 90-degree spine, to make my materials very fast. And this ain't gonna be very a professional feather sticking job by any means, but I'm making the scrapings a lot faster than I would be if I was using the pencil sharpener. So if I want to get an emergency fire going fast, this knife is moving the material a lot faster than I would with the to make Maya dust and stuff like that, to move the material fast enough. As you can see, within like a minute, I've made more material than I tried to with the pencil sharpener with the knife. I've moved more material with the knife in order to get a fire going. If I was injured, I would still be able to move enough material, scrape it to make a fire with one hand, and I can stick the piece of fat wood on my knee and scrape it and cut it to the size that I wanted in order to get material to make fire. So, and also too, just on this regular stick, you know, this regular stick here, if I wanted to say cut it, that I was using this stick earlier in the pencil sharpener to make material, I'm cutting it. It's making better feather sticks. You can cut the material if you want to make it faster. It'll cut the material a lot faster and get you what you need. Of course, this is not the best feather stick in the world. I'd use a longer stick and I would, you know, strip it down. But as you can see, I'm still moving more material faster and a lot easier with less time than I am with the stupid pencil sharpener. The pencil sharpener, after using it for like several minutes trying to make material with it, I only ended up with half of the material with it than I did with a knife. So I'm moving more material with my knife than the stupid pencil sharpener. You know what I'm saying? So I'm moving it with the pencil sharpener and doing this out in the cold with cold hands. I mean, I can't even get this thing to work. So I mean, I could barely move the material in here. Plus that, it has a little catch at the bottom. So as you can see, within the same amount of time, I've moved more material right here with my knife than I did over here with the you know, with the pencil sharpener. So, and you have to find like the right size sticks in order to get that into the pencil sharpener for it to work right, and it still isn't working. The more material that you have to work with, the better the fire accelerant and the less time it takes to make a fire. Okay, I made a mess, but that is part of making a video. But as you can see, why would you want to use a pencil sharpener when you could use a knife that can move a lot more material and get you a emergency fire started quicker and easier than, let's say, your pencil sharpener? Is there a place for a pencil sharpener in a survival kit? No, I don't think there should be a place when you got a perfectly good knife that could do a lot more in the field than a pencil sharpener. Sorry, I ain't gonna be able to make a fire because I made a huge mess and it just flew everywhere. So, you know, but yeah, there is a pencil sharpener in the Army Ranger survival guides. I would not rely on this with my life, and I would stick with just using your knife. I wouldn't put one of these in my fire kits. That's just my opinion. I don't think there's a use for one, honestly, in a fire kit, when you just carry this on your hip and, you know, have your material, move your material a lot faster with a knife than a pencil sharpener. I don't see there's a need for this in your kits, guys. It's a useless tool for a fire kit. I would just stick with a knife in your ferrocerium rods, guys, and it's just a gimmick. Honestly, I don't even know why they put one in the Ranger kits. You know, stick with your outdoors knives, guys. It's a lot better at moving material to make your fires and other things. It'll move a lot more material, just besides using it as a tinder knife to make tinder for fire. You can do a lot with a knife, more than you can a pencil sharpener. It's really a joke, guys. I wouldn't waste space in my fire making kits. I just keep my knife on me, or you could use the scraper itself on most ferrocerium rods to make scrapings on your tinder. That is what it's designed for, to scrape. So you don't necessarily need, as you can see, this scraper here has moved more material than I ever did with the pencil sharpener. So scraper knife combo is the way to go, guys. You don't necessarily need a pencil sharpener. I think it's a joke. So I wouldn't, my own opinion, I wouldn't put one in my kit, my fire kits, or anything like that. I know the Army Rangers do, but I'm not an Army Ranger. when you got perfectly good. There you guys go. This is my opinion on it. Stick with your knife or your ferrocerium rod, ferrocerium rod strikers to move your tinder, guys. You don't need a pencil sharpener. It's a joke. Alright guys, this has been your old pal Hondo from Hillbilly Tactical. You put God first, he puts you first every time. You know what else, YouTube? God loves you, so does Hondo. Peace out, YouTube.